Hey everyone. So I've successfully launched our live stream. We're broadcasting. There were extra steps I had to go through, so I was a little bit nervous about getting it done, but we did it. And yeah, it's going to be smooth sailing from here. But yeah, this is the Zen meeting at Dharma Bum Temple. I'd like to point that out because sometimes there's folks who mean to go into the recovery Dharma meeting, which is downstairs every Monday, same time. So I hope y'all are in the right place. And yeah, is this anybody's first time at the Zen meeting or at Dharma Bum Temple? Yeah, okay, Zen and Dharma Bum as well? Or is this your first time at the temple?
Well, I was here many years ago.
Okay, cool. Well, welcome everybody. And yeah, just to give you an idea about what we're doing tonight, it's very simple, but can be a little bit difficult, I think. There's a lot of sitting meditation, and we will do some talking and maybe a discussion in the kind of the middle of the hour after our first meditation session. And so there's an opportunity for some Q&A if you have any questions. And I haven't really picked any topic or anything to go over tonight. So maybe something might come up. And yeah, I'm excited to share this space with y'all. I'm glad y'all are here. This wouldn't be possible if you didn't show up. It'd just be me up here. So it's kind of a neat circle that we're completing. And I really love this practice a lot. So I'm excited to share it as well. And just to give you some background, to give you all some background as well. So this is an unguided meditation practice. So I'll ring the bell 3 times to kind of start our meditation sessions. And then for the first one, we'll do, I think, 20 minutes. And then to end it, I'll ring the bell once again. And so we'll only have our posture to kind of focus on and our breathing to anchor us if needed. And I think it can be a little bit difficult of a practice because a lot of the meditations that I think a lot of people experience are guided. And so you're following someone's kind of direction and thought process, even their own indications about breathing as well. So this is a little bit freeform, and I think I found my way to it kind of instinctively, and I was really excited a few years ago to discover that there's a whole practice of this worldwide, just unguided meditation and everything. So it's very cool, I think. And I'm excited to hear maybe what y'all have to share, I think, in the middle section and everything about your experiences if you're down to talk about it. But yeah, to get started as well. So posture is really important with any meditation practice. So I encourage a kind of an upright posture. And I think this tip that I heard someone say recently that is really easy and very helpful is to kind of put your ears over your shoulders and then your nose over your navel. And so that kind of creates this upright posture, and it's very straight. And you kind of also want to imagine like a small string, maybe holding your head up and just lightly pulling you up. And that's straight and a good posture to kind of strive for. And you can kind of put your hands anywhere on your lap, up like this, or you can make a cosmic mudra, which is very, very powerful. And I don't do that, actually. I just go like this, but it's you can do anything you want with your hands. But I think you want to kind of strive to end up in maybe some physical postures or positions that for a longer period of time. So if you are going to do something with your hands, just maybe you just let them settle for a few minutes at a time before you try something else. And yeah, if you do feel uncomfortable, definitely want you to overcome that. And I want everybody to be comfortable. And I don't want anybody to be uncomfortable. And I know you're on the mat here, so that's really great. And I think, and if everyone's welcome to kind of try out the mats, but we can also do this in the chairs and the pews as well. So it's possible to kind of achieve a meditation state in any of these seating positions. And yeah, I think for the seated posture on the mat and everything on the zabuton and zafu, you kind of want to try and put your knees on the ground or something, but yeah, it's not necessary. So to get started as well, I had a reading that I really like from Pema Chodron. I'm really getting into Pema Chodron. She's wonderful, and a great kind of person to digest in terms of like reinvigorating my own practice at times. And yeah, she has this really kind of pertinent, I think, kind of paragraph about seated meditation. So what's up, Art? So sitting meditation. Meditation practice is a formal way in which you can get used to lightening up. I encourage you to follow the instructions precisely, but within that form to be gentle. Let the whole thing be soft. Breathing out, touch your breath as it goes. Sense the breath going out into big space and dissolving. You're not trying to clutch or catch that breath. You're simply relaxing outward with it. There's no particular instruction about which to do during the in-breath. There's nothing to hold on to until the next out-breath. So yeah, she said it, so it's true. It's amazing. I think a couple other things beyond posture as well are some folks kind of don't know what to do with their eyes. I kind of try and start out with my eyes closed, and then over time, maybe open them up and stare at the ground a little bit. You can keep your eyes open for the entire duration. And I can't find the other stuff, but I think I talked about everything. So we'll get started then. And like I said, I'll ring the bell 3 times to start, and then I'll ring it once to kind of finish the meditation session, and we'll check in then as well. Well, welcome back, everybody. I hope that was a good experience for everybody. And I know I definitely kind of feel a great sense of calm coming out of that first meditation. Usually kind of end up with a lot of nerves up here. So it's really, I think there's something magical that, I experience every time I do a meditation like this. So yeah, it has rewards. But yeah, I thought I would do a quick reading from this book, A Guide to Zen Meditation, Beyond Thinking, by it's kind of a bunch of essays and translations from Zen Master Dogen, who kind of founded the Soto Zen school of Zen about 800 years ago. And for those who don't know kind of like Zen history, there's basically like two main schools right now. And there's another one I've heard of called Sando Zen. But the two biggest ones are Rinzai and Soto Zen. And they're kind of like merging a lot these days. So they almost seem to kind of all blend together. But there was this, so Rinzai Zen has a main practice called koans and everything, where you kind of get this fancy word problem that you kind of meditate on constantly for a year. And then once you kind of like find the answer to it, you kind of achieve enlightenment that way. And this is probably like an offensive description for some people, but that's my take on it. And yeah, some of the koans are really kind of bizarre. Like imagine what your face looked like before your parents were born. And I don't really know. Like, I could see how kind of like there's kind of a fun game to that practice. But I bring that up because there was Rinzai and they were practicing koans, and I'm sure they were doing meditations and stuff. And then Dogen, he like kind of traveled from Japan, where Rinzai was being mainly practiced at the time, and 800 years ago. And he went and traveled through China for like 4 years, and he discovered that a lot of people were practicing just zazen or shikantaza, which was just a sitting meditation practice. And through that experience and that kind of journey, he kind of brought that back to Japan and really emphasized the practice of what we just did, which is just a sitting meditation practice, very humble, very simple practice. And I think this practice is kind of like a great beginning to a lot of things. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool that it's so popular to the point where I learned about this in San Francisco, and then I came here, and I stumbled across this kind of class, and thought like, wow, this is amazing that it's kind of this ubiquitous. And from what I know, it's practiced in other countries. Yeah, so this reading from Beyond Thinking, kind of Dogen's words. So underlying almost all Dogen has to say about meditation practice is this sensibility in regard to the paradoxical nature of time and space. As he says quite directly in Ocean Mudra Samadhi, past moments and future moments do not arise in sequence. Past elements and future elements are not in alignment. This is the meaning of Ocean Mudra Samadhi. And Samadhi is meditative concentration. We experience ourselves conventionally in the world of our own perception and emotion as sequential, as within the realm of time and space. But the actual reality of time and space also must include non-time and non-space, which is always present within us. To do zazen is to open ourselves to this reality. Yeah, I think it's like some pretty heavy stuff, but also kind of cool that it's. I mean, I know that this is a translation, so I'm sure that his original kind of writing about it was a little bit worded a little bit differently, but it still seems so pertinent today. And this practice, kind of still seems so pertinent now. And I think it's amazing that, we can kind of bridge ourselves to, this kind of guidance that comes from, an ancient source like this, and it helps. So, yeah, I think. Yeah, I'll open it up to maybe any questions that anybody has as well, or any comments that anybody has about their own meditation practice, or this meditation experience that we had just now together. And you can ask about anything really, even like ideally it's meditation or kind of Buddhist practice related. I know some things, so if I don't know, I'll let you know that I can't answer the question, or maybe hopefully direct you in a way that we can find an answer together. But yeah, I'll be quiet now and give it some space.
I'll share. My name's Art.
Hey, Art.
And in regards to meditation, you know what? Before my journey to recovery, I didn't think much of it. Most of the time, I was kind of intrigued, but didn't really see the benefits of it. Fast forward to just this past Saturday. On Saturday, I got my 3-year sober birthday from Clean Sober. And I will admit that it's because I'm honest with myself. I'm honest with other people. I stopped listening to my head and started listening to the experts or the people that have more clean time than I do. And one of the things, a big part of my recovery has been coming here to this temple or to the one up the street on Park. And something at work has been happening the last couple of weeks. And I know that if I wasn't working an honest program, I would have gone out and done something stupid, either relapsed or gone back to jail. I'll just throw it out like that. I don't want to do that. I'm in the process now of talking to people at the halfway house that I'm at and expunging my criminal record. It's lengthy. But for the type of work that I do, it's not good to have anything. Anyway, that being said, at work, there's, I guess you can call her my supervisor. I think I haven't done anything, I believe, on my part to come under her radar. And So got my yin rep involved with so watching what I say and how I say it. And then a few weeks ago, I noticed that she triggered me, and it was just a couple of words, and boom, it took me back to my last relapse 3 years ago. And it was kind of a similar situation. Back then, I didn't have the tools that I have now. I was like, oh, well, I don't want to feel like that. Just drink and get high. And that was my coping mechanism. So this time I was like, okay, well, and I wasn't sleeping. I actually stopped eating for several days. It got bad, and I was like, I got to let someone know. So I came here. I went up to the other temple up the street, and I was talking to the nuns, and they said, why don't you just go into the room and just sit there and meditate right now? And I'm like, well, you don't understand, Venerable. Like, I'm feeling like, just go over there and sit down. But Venerable, go over there and sit down and just think about it. All right, cool. And I sat there, meditated, and then I came back, and I was like, you know what? What I got out of it was I learned to sit with my emotions, which, it had a huge impact. I came back, I talked to her briefly, and I was like, I know what I got to do, just what I'm doing, and just, why am I worried about I'm future tripping? That's my addict mindset, catastrophizing. So, I had a meeting with the supervisor again on Friday. Well, we're going to write you up. And I was like, no, you're not. Well, I don't think it's warranted. And again, I'm thinking like a million things that could go wrong. I was like, oh, let me meditate on it. Let me trust the process. And I got a call from my union president, and she's like, yeah, you're not going to get rid of it. We're going to fight this all the way through. And I'm thinking, you know what? Like, had not been for, and this place has had a huge impact on me. I got learned to sit with my emotions to, because it's not good or bad. It's an emotion. It is what it is. And people like me, well, I wasn't really taught that as a kid. So I went out and did what worked for me for a while until I did. And you know what? I know if I wasn't again working in on this program of recovery with myself, I would have gone out a long time ago. Probably back in jail. God, I want to die. But that's what I got out of this. I tried meditating, and this time, last week, I was kind of like, I was really anxious. I was biting my fingers, the skin on my fingers. It got bad, but this time it was more an anxious of like, I got a little win for myself today. So anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah, thank you. I think I get stressed just doing, so many different things in life. And I have a daily practice, but I kind of sometimes forget to do it. And sometimes I find myself in a really stressful state, and I get stressed about all the things that I have responsibilities for. And then I think I could just meditate first and it'll ruin this whole plan that I have. But, maybe that's a better way. And I have questions for, other Zen teachers about what happens to our minds, while we're sleeping, or kind of while we're doing our life, and that we can somehow overcome and reset, with meditation. And, I think the concept of equanimity makes so much sense, and practicing it, it's you feel it, and it's very powerful. But yeah, it's so confusing at times about the attrition. Yeah, thanks for your share, Art.
But you both have spoken upon reminds me that the most practical, real world benefits subjectively, as much as that can happen, is just having less unwise reactions,
Mhm.
and sometimes having no response, external response. They say the best way to purify cloudy water is to let it sit. Sometimes things just work out.
Yeah, it's definitely a wise approach. I guess we can meditate some more, but I guess before we launch into it, does anybody have any last comments or questions? Cool. Well, so the last time I was here, actually, I was doing Mark's. I was attending Mark's kind of lead, and it's like I think I was over there. And one thing I noticed is that the second meditation for me was like obviously different. Like there was, I think I was like very tired going into the first one, and then the second one, I just somehow had this burst of energy, and yeah, I think that's like maybe something to think about as you kind of dive into the second session, because I know for a lot of people doing meditation is just a one time thing, and this is a good opportunity to maybe notice the difference and maybe try and kind of just think about that for a second. Yeah. Also, my name is Cory. I realized I didn't introduce myself earlier, and I also didn't say anything about breathing, but during the meditation. But I think my suggestion for breathing is to just kind of work in breaths of 3, and it's actually pretty loud up here, so it's like kind of the next thing I'm about to say is maybe not as applicable, but slowly breathe. You can kind of do these quick sessions of breaths where you're doing a deep inhale and exhale, and you do it really fast. And I think slowing it down is really a good practice with meditation. And it doesn't need to be for every breath. Definitely, a quick breath here and there is what you need. And I think my tip that I give to a lot of people when thinking about slow breathing is to, if you can hear your breath, try and go slower until you can't hear it anymore. But yeah, do this thing, and we'll stop at like 7:55, so in 10 minutes, and do our kind of closing process with Hazel. Right. Well, I guess, does anybody have any closing comment to kind of share about the last meditation, maybe? Cool. Okay. No problem. I think so. I'll do the dedication of merit now. So if you're comfortable, bring your hands to heart center. And may any merit gained from this practice today be of benefit and transferred to the world. Hazel, thanks for kind of holding space for us and keeping us safe.
Hello. We opened Dharma Temple 18 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and are not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of the practice. Every night we have different classes led by people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery salon that meets several times a week for anyone with addiction, and our food redistribution program is every Thursday at 4:30. We have classes and programs every day, and everything we offer here is always free. The full schedule is on our website and also posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We have a lending library. If you see a book you like, feel free to borrow it and then bring it back whenever you're done with it. Please straighten your seat or cushion before you head out. If you people could stay to close and watch the windows, that would be helpful. Thank you for being here. We wish you well, and we hope to see you all again.
Thank you so much.